Diddy's Los Angeles and Miami mansions raided by SWAT teams. His sons, Justin and King, in handcuffs in their own yard.
For hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs is scheduled to start today with jury selection process. ABC's Aaron Katersky reports as he faces multiple charges, including racketeering and trafficking.
Cassie Ventura back on the witness stand today. She's been testifying in the case against her ex-boyfriend, Sean Combs. He's facing 5 federal counts, including trafficking and racketeering.
Imagine being trapped inside a luxurious hotel suite, but instead of glamour, there's violence. Baby oil bottles line the walls. Cameras are rolling. And the man in control? One of the most powerful moguls in music history. Y'all, the courtroom doors have finally opened on the Sean Diddy Combs trafficking trial. And the details? They're so disturbing, even Hollywood's biggest names are ducking for cover. This is not a drill. Diddy is facing a potential life sentence. And today, we're diving straight into what's gone down so far in the most shocking celebrity trial of 2025. From brutal testimony to leaked text messages, we're unpacking every uncomfortable detail. Let's get into it. It all officially started in September 2024, when a federal indictment was unsealed, charging Sean Combs with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. By March 2025, federal agents raided multiple properties owned by Combs. What they found? Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, prescription pills, hard drives, cash, and weapons. Evidence that prosecutors now say supports a pattern of coercion, violence, and control. Diddy was arrested in Manhattan and has remained in federal custody ever since. His bail denied. The trial officially kicked off on May 12, 2025, in a Manhattan federal courtroom. And from day one, the tone was explosive. On the prosecution side, we have Assistant U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson leading the charge. She opened with a chilling statement, calling Diddy the ringleader of a violent criminal enterprise built on power, manipulation, and silence. Backing her up is Maureen Ryan Comey, a heavy hitter in federal cases. And yes, she's James Comey's daughter. The defense is fighting tooth and nail. Celebrity attorney Mark Agnifilo insists Diddy wasn't a predator, but just a consensual swinger. Meanwhile, Tenny Geragos admitted Diddy's actions were horrible in some moments, but said it still wasn't sex trafficking. Judge Aaron Subramanian is presiding. He's a Columbia law grad and a Biden appointee. And the jury, 12 members, 8 men, 4 women, ages ranging from 30 to 74. Their job? Sift through decades of allegations, weeks of testimony, and decide if Diddy is guilty of the most serious crimes in the entertainment industry. Now let's talk about the witness at the center of this entire trial, Cassandra Ventura, aka Cassie. Her testimony started on May 13th and lasted 4 full days. And trust me when I say, it's some of the most gut-wrenching courtroom testimony we've ever seen in a celebrity case. Cassie described being groomed by Diddy from a young age. She said he controlled every aspect of her life, her music, her finances, even who she could speak to. But it didn't stop there. She testified that she was sexually assaulted in 2018. Diddy forced her into what he called freak-offs. These weren't just parties. They were controlled rituals involving strangers, drugs, and cameras. She said she was given ecstasy, ketamine, weed, and alcohol regularly without her knowledge, sometimes all at once, before being made to perform involving multiple strangers. And she described walking into a hotel room and seeing a blow-up pool filled with baby oil, cameras set up, outfits laid out. She testified, "There were at least 10 bottles of baby oil, every time, sometimes more. I had to perform in the pool. He watched and sometimes filmed." She claimed Diddy would record everything, sometimes to blackmail her later, threatening to release footage if she ever left. She also told the court that when she resisted, she was beaten, blocked from leaving, or manipulated with threats, sometimes financial, sometimes physical. One time, she said, she had a black eye and had to use heavy makeup to hide it before public appearances. The courtroom froze when a video was played.
That includes video obtained by CNN showing Combs chasing then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura down a hotel hallway in 2016, knocking her down and kicking her.
Showing Diddy allegedly beating her with a skillet in a hotel room in 2016. Cassie broke down sobbing, and her husband Alex Fine, sitting in the gallery, had to be escorted out because he couldn't watch. And y'all, one text message she sent after that beating is now critical evidence. In it, she said, "I feel like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. I'm fighting to survive." The trauma in that one sentence, undeniable. Now Cassie wasn't the only one to take the stand. Several others, bodyguards, friends, even a former bandmate, have painted a terrifying picture. Israel Flores, a former security guard, said after one assault, he found Diddy with a blank, devilish stare, slouched in a chair. Diddy allegedly tried to bribe him with $100,000 in a paper bag to cover it up. Daniel Phillip, a male escort who was hired for one of the freak-offs, said he heard the slap, saw Cassie run to him crying, and told her she had to leave before something worse happens. Dawn Richard, Cassie's former bandmate in Danity Kane, testified on May 19th that she saw Diddy beat Cassie with a skillet full of eggs and threatened to kill her if she told anyone. The defense tried to paint Dawn as money-hungry, citing a civil lawsuit, but she clapped back. "This is about truth. I don't want a cent." Another witness, Carrie Morgan, said she herself was beaten by Diddy in 2018 and saw firsthand how he manipulated Cassie, locking her in financially and emotionally. A hotel housekeeper from one of Diddy's favorite spots confirmed she often saw destroyed suites, oil-covered linens, and once even overheard a woman crying in the hallway. And it doesn't stop there. Prosecutors say additional victims, codenamed Jane and Mia, are about to testify in the coming days. Their stories reportedly include forced group sex, coerced drug use, and abduction-like control tactics. Now, let's talk about the receipts. Because this trial, it's not just he said, she said. The feds brought hard proof. From the March 2025 raids, investigators seized over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. Yes, 1,000. A stash of prescription pills, drugs, and unknown substances believed to be used to sedate victims, weapons, allegedly used to intimidate women, and hard drives and phones, some containing footage the prosecution calls deeply disturbing. Oh, and remember that 2016 hotel video? The one of Cassie being beaten? Prosecutors say Diddy offered $100,000 cash to keep it from leaking. So when people say this case is built on just stories, think again. Diddy's defense team is using every tactic in the book. They claim that Cassie wasn't a victim, but a consenting adult in a non-traditional relationship. They said she stayed for years, exchanged loving texts, and only spoke out after their breakup. They also went deep into her mental health. They grilled her about her PTSD treatment, her use of EMDR therapy, and even tried to suggest that she was reimagining events due to trauma. But here's what the prosecution snapped back with. She needed EMDR because of your client. She needed therapy because she was abused. Period. The courtroom felt it, and the jury, they saw the text messages, but also the tears, the videos, the scars, and that speaks louder than any romantic emoji. And that's the answer to everyone saying that she could have left. Really? How can you when you are mentally and physically abused to the point where you even forget the difference between reality and imagination? When you have to take drugs yourself, not for pleasure, but to become numb to everything just to get through with it. So what happens now? More witnesses are expected this week, including the anonymous women Jane and Mia, and federal agents who led the investigation. Closing arguments are projected to begin by late June, and then the jury will deliberate. If found guilty, Diddy faces life in prison, and at this point, the defense has a lot of ground to cover. This trial is about more than just one man. It's about the power, silence, and fear that's protected abusers in the spotlight for decades. We'll be watching every day, every witness, every text, every breakdown, and I'll be right here breaking it all down for you, layer by layer. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell, because when this verdict drops, you'll want to be the first to know. Until then, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, truth always finds the light.